Okay, guys, thank you for joining us for another episode of Daily Gems. We like to welcome John from TransithubTO. We're going to do a little interview discussing about what TransithubTO is and keep you a little bit warm. We got the fireplace here down at Coffee Culture. They make great coffee, obviously, and the great environment, but it's really cold and wet outside right now. And what we're going to do is we're going to do a little bit of a discovery and exploration that what we're good at, what we're doing in Toronto here anyway. TransithubTO, we're going to give John a quick explanation. What is Transit Hub TO exactly?
Well, Jarvis, Transit Hub is two things, really. One, it's a community for commuters to connect with each other and discover the areas around transit stops. But secondly, it's a discovery tool. It's a way for people to easily discover the city, areas around the city, particularly around stations and stops. And we like to call those stops hubs, transit hubs, places full of activity, whether it's a restaurant, a store, a piece of architecture or history that's interesting to you. Transit Hub, we're all about inspiring people to discover the city through transit, and I hope that's something that people love.
Yeah. Well, why transit? Is this for regular people that are driving cars around, or is this for people that are like tourists out of the city, or for everyone?
I think it's for everyone. I think in most major urban centers, transit is really the way that people view the city, or at least view the way that they get around the city. Toronto, in particular, whenever I'm going out to meet somebody or to go someplace with somebody, the first thing we usually ask ourselves is, is it located near a transit stop, or what stop do I get off? I'll meet you there as long as it's near a transit stop. So that was sort of the inspiration that transit is really the way that people view how they get around. And for Transit Hub, it's really about combining the what to do with how to get there, with what else is there to do in the area. So, and I'm a heavy transit user myself. So,
when I was in university, I always thought about where could you take a cheap date. You
Yes.
You want to take someone out and you want to know, and you got to meet them up.
Yes.
And you want to look good on your date. So I got a nice place lined up, and you do a little search on the directory at
Yes.
TransithubTO and
Yes.
find the stop, and then take them to that place.
Yes.
Helps the business. Let them know I saw it on Transit Hub.
Yes.
Briefly, don't tell your date.
Yeah, and really, for me, I'm not from the city, and I really didn't know the areas around Toronto that weren't in some of the major stops. So Yonge and Dundas, I knew. Yonge and Bloor I knew pretty well. St. George and Bloor I knew pretty well because I went to U of T there. But there are so many interesting places around the city that nobody even knows about just because they've never get off there unless they knew.
So what are you saying? They do a little bit of discovery?
A little bit of discovery. For example, we spoke to one transit hubber who told us about an axe throwing league up by Lansdowne and Bloor. So Lansdowne Station, you would get off there. And it actually is sort of a route that you'd have to follow that she told us in one of our videos. But stuff like that is the kind of thing that I would love to see more of, and I would love to, if people could think of themselves as transit tourists and see the transit system not just as a way to get from point A to B, going to work or whatever, but as a way to discover the city. That's really what we're all about.
How big is Toronto?
Toronto is huge as a city. The GTA.
You'll never see it all.
You'll never see it all, but helping people rediscover that spirit for exploring, the spirit for going off the beaten track and actually visiting places that maybe you've never seen before, you've never thought that there might be something interesting. That's what we're all about.
Okay, I love exploring, I love discovery, and then using it as a service, but I'm also interested in participation. Mm-hmm. So that's contributing. Mm-hmm. So not only when they actually get to see a place, they actually send a tweet up or a tip, and now they're part of the game, and they get to add their advice on where they would like to show people what is good and whatnot. And for example, I was just outside, I know around one of the transit hubs, like we can see right here, which is the one you have on your website.
Right.
Of course, it's Queen and Bathurst. And we're not that far away from it right now.
No, we weren't. We're here.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
awesome.
Queen and Bathurst is actually the first place I lived in Toronto, so I know it really well.
Okay.
The one I was at just a little while ago was just up the one at college in Bathurst where we are now.
Right.
And we're going to take a look and give an idea of what I got from giving my Transit Hub video We're going to watch that right now.
Let's take a look.
Okay, here we are at the transit hub of College and Bathurst. And there's a lot of conveniences around here. I like this one. There goes the transit now. It's by the ever popular Sneaky D's just around the corner there. And they got a bank. I always like that near a transit hub. If you take a look, there's also the Plaza Flamingo. I've been inside once. It's beautiful. They got live shows. And it's a very convenient transit hub. And Queen and Bathurst is down a little bit further, which one of my favorite transit. Okay, I think we went over that twice. It kind of loops when we play it.
Awesome.
But just make sure I can hear this. Oh, this is crazy. But that is the area around where we are right now.
So I just want to say I love that, Jarvis. I mean, immediately, I'm actually not as familiar with this area as you are, and immediately I knew the top places that you identify that were easy for me to get to from this hub, and I can see Sneaky D's, there's a bank, there's coffee culture, which is where we're sitting right now. So that's exactly what we want people to do more of.
I guess what happens is when you're you're more aware and know, you're not afraid to go in there.
Yeah.
I was talking to some of the business associations in Kensington Market, and that's what they're actually paying a lot of money to do now, is like give people tours so they can see that Joe is serving churros at half price on Wednesdays. When they walk in, they don't just walk past the place now. They go, I want to go in there because I saw it already. I'm comfortable with it.
Yeah.
That's what you're talking about, touring the city.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, well, John, I guess we're going to take a look just so you guys know, are familiar with the Transit Hub logo.
Awesome.
It's a new way to discover your city, one step at a time.
One stop at a time.
Oh, stop. And step as if you're walking around like me all the time.
Exactly.
If you want to find the website, you can go to transithub.blogspot.com. That one works, as well as transithubTO.ca, which now we found out too. Yeah. Okay. Well, guys, thank you for tuning in. This has been Daily Gems, Jarvis Emerald and John Chrysalis, they say. And we will talk to you guys next. What's next?